I've got a handful of books that I reread every year. They've been life-changing for me. They've helped me live a better life. And one of those books is a book called Hell Yes or No by a guy named Derek Sivers. And I've applied that to my entire life, and it includes building my garage gym. So today what I thought I'd share with you guys on the GymCrafter podcast is the Hell Yes or No approach to building a garage gym. Welcome back to the GymCrafter podcast, everybody. My name is Tim. I am the head gym nerd here at GymCrafter.com, the website that I built to help ordinary folks like you and I build home and garage gyms that we absolutely love. And part of being a gym nerd is being a nerd. And I read a ton of books. And not only do I read a ton of books, when I find good ones, like I said, that impact my life, I read them over and over and over again. And the reason for that is a book is no good if you read it and go, that's some good ideas, and then never do those good ideas. And when I come to books that have good advice that makes your life better, I like to reread them so that I remind myself to do those things, because I find that about once a year I need that reminder because I've stopped doing the things that the book recommends. And that is the case with the book Hell Yes or No by Derek Sivers. It's also available online for free. If I can find a link for it, I'll put it down below. It's a very short, it started off as a blog post. It's like this long, and you can just read the blog post and get the idea. You could listen to this episode and get the idea because I'm about to tell you. But basically, the gist of this is that in life, when you're looking at choices, there's really only two possible answers if you want to live the best possible life. When you look at something, is it a hell yes? And if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. And oh, by the way, can you believe that YouTube's going to make me put a strong language warning on this video for saying the word hell? Anyway, thought that was weird. But it's either a hell yes or it's a no. And think about how many things that you've done in your life that are a lukewarm in the middle. It's lukewarm is not good. It's not a good place to be. It's like Mr. Miyagi, right? Walk on left side of road, good. Walk on right side of road, good. Walk in middle, squish like grape, or something like that. You Karate Kid fans remember that. But you'd never want to walk in the middle of the road. And this is what this choice, this paradigm, or this model kind of really helps you decide. If you're looking at something in the store and you're like, I kind of like that sweatshirt, should I buy it? Well, if it's not a hell yes, then the answer is no, you shouldn't buy it. That's how we end up with a closet full of clothes that we never wear, because it's, we're kind of cool, I feel like buying something new today. And that applies to friends, that applies to jobs that you're looking at, that applies to food that you eat. Man, think about if you lived your entire life where everything in your life was a hell yes. And even though some things in your life are out of control and you got to do what you got to do, most things are within your control, especially when you look at them on a longer time scale. So making sure that everything's a hell yes is important. And I think when we look at our garage gyms, man, there's a lot of things people buy because of marketing, because of an Instagram ad, because, hey, I need a kettlebell, I'll just buy whatever random kettlebell. And it's like, no, you got to buy the kettlebell that makes you say hell yes, right? So that's, like I said, what we're going to talk about today. And it's something that I think is really important to apply. Not only am I going to talk about how to apply it to your gym, I'm going to talk about the 5 things in my gym, and there's more than this, but the 5 biggest hell yeses in my gym to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. Also to give you an idea of some ways that you can add some hell yes stuff to your gym. I'm also going to talk about a few things that are on the upgrade list. They're kind of like meh, and I want them to go from meh to hell yes. So we're going to talk about that today on the GymCrafter podcast. As usual, we are going to start with a quick update. And today I want to do an update on GymCrafter as a whole, just as a company, where I'm going. 2025 is coming up around the corner. I've been doing a lot of thinking about where I want to go with things, what I want to do, how I can help the most amount of people. So first of all, I am working as hard as I can to get ahead on videos so that I can take a month and really focus on the website. The reason for that is, as I start every video, GymCrafter is the company that I built to help ordinary folks build home and garage gyms. The problem is I put myself in the shoes of an ordinary person and I said, okay, if I was just starting to build a gym or I was mid-building a gym and I went to the GymCrafter website, would that help me? And what I realized is, maybe, maybe not, right? Definitely wouldn't be a hell yes, right? It's definitely not a hell yes answer to that question. And I want to fix that. I want GymCrafter to be a, man, I am glad I found this website. Everything that I need is here. It's easy to find. It's clearly laid out. It's concise. It's applicable. And the reason the site isn't that way right now is because, honestly, the way that I wrote all of the articles and posts and pages on the site were to please Google, because if you want to make a living at doing this, and my website supports me, is you have to have things that people are searching for in Google, and you have to write them in such a manner so that they come up early in the search results, above all the crazy Reddit results that are out there now. And that's how you make a living, right? It's called search optimization. A lot of you guys do this. And what happens is it's great for Google. It's kind of not great for your reader, right? And now that I've got an audience growing through YouTube that I don't have to do that type of thing for, I want to go back and I want to look at the site and I want to say, okay, I'm a new person, I'm building a garage gym. What would I want to see from the front page forward? And I want to really start correcting that. It's a long project, guys. But the reason I'm bringing it up here is I know a lot of you watch this podcast because you're building garage gyms. What would you guys like to see on a website? Like, what resources should be out there that aren't out there? What things aren't out there that you were looking for help for and you just couldn't find a good, clear answer? What are some things that you found that were great resources that really helped you? If you guys could let me know that, everything I do here at GymCrafter is for you guys. There's a guy named Zig Ziglar who I've read all of his books. A lot of you guys have no idea who I'm talking about. A lot of you older guys know exactly who I'm talking about. But Zig Ziglar built a career on one thing. You can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And that's how I've always approached GymCrafter outside of helping Google get what it wants. And I really want to help you guys get what you want. And it's hard to know what you want unless I hear from you. So shoot me some comments down below. Shoot me an email at tim@gymcrafter.com. I can't promise I'll do all of them, but I really would like to get a feel for what you guys would like to see on the website itself. I know that number one for me is making it all look good on mobile, because like 80% of you who visit the website do it on your phone, and there's a lot of stuff on there that don't look so good on your phone. So we're gonna fix that for sure, but let me know what you think, and that's gonna be important. The second thing is, as you guys know, I am a certified personal trainer. I do train people here in the gym. I probably won't do that for much longer, to be honest with you. I really wanna focus on GymCrafter, the YouTube channel. You know, the training was to supplement my income while I built the YouTube channel and built the website. The website's doing okay right now, and what I would rather do is spend that time on the YouTube channel and the website, because I can help a whole lot more people that way, right? And so what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to get another certification. It's a certification that I have been looking forward to getting for a very long time. It's called the PPSC certification. It's through my guy, John Russin. You guys have heard me talk about him repeatedly. He was my coach for a couple of years. He's one of the world's best personal trainers. I think Men's Health rates him one of the top 25 personal trainers in the world. This guy's amazing. And PPSC stands for the Pain-Free Performance Certification. And what it is it's a way to train hard, to build massive amounts of muscle, to build massive amounts of strength and power, and to do it in a way that keeps you healthy, that keeps you pain-free, that addresses imbalances, there's a reason I recommend his programs all the time, and functional power training is the program I've done probably more times than any of his other ones. But if you want to get a taste of that, check that program out. But I will be finally getting his certification. I haven't been able to afford to go and take it live. He's going to do it online. You guys don't need to know any of these details, but long story short, which is hard for me to do, as you guys know from watching this podcast, I am going to get this certification because I want to start offering garage gym specific training programs, because I know that all of you out there are working with limited equipment. Not everybody can have a rack, not everybody can have a cable system. And I think that it's important to provide a good quality level of training programming that's affordable, that's complete. There's a bunch of stuff that I think is missing from today's programming out there. As much as I like the Mind Pump stuff, every time I do one of their programs, I'm like, man, you're missing this, you did this in a way that I don't necessarily like or I think could be better. So I really want to try. You name a program, I've done it. Athlean X, Vincent Del Monte, V-Shred, like I've done all of them, right? Because I knew in the back of my head I was going to be doing this at some point. So I've got a really good feeling. But just like I asked for the website, let me know what you guys would like to see. What types of training programs would you like to see? Is there a specific skill that you want to train for? Is there a specific age group? Is there a specific, physical restriction that holds you back? Is there an equipment restriction? Is there something that most of you guys don't have or can't afford? Like, hey, I want something that's just dumbbells or something like that. So that's what I'm going to be working on. That programming probably won't be coming out in 2025. What I'm going to do in 2025, and something that I learned from Dr. Russin, is I will get the certification. I've got a bunch of programs already kind of fleshed out from my personal training experience here. but I will be having some people do some beta testing. So some of you guys out there might have me reach out to you, some of you guys who I know work out consistently, asking you to beta test some programs and let me know, because I don't want to release something that I haven't proven, right? I want to make sure that it actually gets results in the intended audience for the training program. But anyway, so that's what's going on at GymCrafter. 2025 is going to be all about you guys. So as usual, anytime I can help you out, if I can answer an equipment question, if I can answer a training question, if I can help you, anything at all, tim@gymcrafter.com. Please shoot me an email, shoot me comments in the comment section on YouTube, shoot me a DM on Instagram. That's where I'm at most of the time, is one of those three places. But please let me know how I can help you. And let's move on to helping you say hell yes to your gym. And the first point I want to make is having a hell yes in your gym does not mean having the most expensive thing that you can buy. Sometimes those are related, but not always. Like, there's lots of hell yeses that are moderately priced or even budget priced. And a good example is, there is a hell yes in my life that, man, once I found them, this is all that I buy. So I'm bald, as you guys might have noticed. And what that means is that if you didn't know, hair, it's designed to catch sweat, and when you're bald, it just drips up. So hats are important to me, and having a hat that not only can catch a lot of sweat, but that is comfortable is important. And there's a company called Live Lucky who makes hats. Now, their hats are cool to start off with. They're the ones with the clover on them that you see a lot of people wear. However, they make one specific line of hats that have they're flex fit, but they have a band of memory foam in the front. And man, these things are money. As soon as I put it on, I'm like, hell yeah, that's a hat, right? And that's all of my hats are these hats now. They're the only hats I'll wear. They're the most comfortable. They don't cause irritation. That memory foam catches a lot of sweat. I mean, these things are, mwah! They're not any more expensive than their other hats, right? They're just the one that I like the most. So I don't buy middle of the road hats anymore. I just like those hats. Those are the hats that I buy. If you ever see me offer hats for GymCrafter, most likely that's the hats I'm going to offer if I can do it. That's part of the reason I don't have a GymCrafter hat yet, is because they don't make those available to have them embroidered by other people. When they do, I will have one. But that's a good example of, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be expensive, it just has to be something that you really like and that works really well for you. The second hell yeah tip is, it's hell yeah for you and nobody else. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And I'll give you a good story from my life. Is at one point in my life, I had I'm very blessed, right? I've had a very blessed life. I had a very good paying job. I was able to afford a lot of things, and one of those things was cars. And I remember when the FJ Cruiser first came out, they released this special edition. All of the FJ Cruisers had these white roofs on them. Roofs? I don't know, roofs. And I didn't like the white roof at all. And every year they released a TRD edition, which is their off-road division, which had all kinds of extra cool stuff in it. But this one was this really cool black with these cool flecks of metal in it. And it had a black roof. This thing was awesome. I went to the dealership and I went, I want one of those. Man, I loved that truck. I absolutely loved that truck. My girlfriend at the time absolutely hated that truck. She didn't want to ride in it. She didn't want to get in it. She didn't like getting in and out of it. She was a little bit of an eco-friendly person, we'll say nicely, and didn't like the fact that she was seen in something that got less than 172 miles to the gallon, and didn't like trucks and didn't like guys who drove trucks. Relationship didn't last all that long. But anyway, the point is, at no time did I ever take into consideration whether or not she was going to like that truck. And I think that's something that a lot of us do, is we worry about what other people think. And sometimes, look, if you've got a family, you've got kids, you've got a spouse, you have to take that stuff into consideration for them. If you're both going to be driving the truck and it's a shared vehicle, you may want to get one that you both like, right? But when it's your gym, get the stuff that you like. It doesn't matter if other people like it. Like, if you want to get a shake weight, and that's a hell yes for you, go get 2 shake weights. You can do the Donald Trump dance with shake weights. That could be a new workout, right? But anyway, get the stuff that you like. Hell yes is all about you and not other people. So if somebody like me as a reviewer goes, I don't like Smith machines, they're kind of dumb, but a Smith machine is a hell yes for you, then you should have a Smith machine in your garage gym. So with those two things in mind, let me kind of walk you through the 5 things in my garage gym that are for sure hell yeses, why they're hell yeses, And hopefully I'll give you an idea of some stuff you can buy that's hell yes for your gym as well. As usual, I will put affiliate links down below. Guys, this is how I support the channel. This is how I support myself, is when you guys think my videos are helpful enough that you decide to buy something I talk about, use the link below. That pays me a little bit on the side. It doesn't cost you any extra. You've heard this speech before. You're going to hear this speech again, but I do appreciate it. Thank you all for doing that. And my first hell yes is one of my most recent garage gym additions, and that is the leg sled by Force USA. I've got a video coming out for this thing. When I release the video, you're going to see why it's such a hell yes for me. But this thing for me was a game changer in lower body training. I'm not kidding you. Every time I get off, I'm not kidding. Every time I get off this thing, I'm like, man, this thing is good. No exaggeration, I love this thing. Not only does it put you in a position, when I show you on the video, what'll happen is when I'm doing a leg press, my body's in the same position I'm in for a squat. I'm not all crunched up like in a normal leg press. If I want to do a hack squat, it's in a great position. I can do seated calf raises, standing calf raises. I can do a sled version of a Bulgarian split squat, of split squats, of lunges. Like, this thing is awesome. I figured out a way to put bands on it, figured out 2 ways to put bands on it actually, and banding it has just really upped the intensity level of it. It has overcome any weight limitations that it may have, and this thing is awesome. I did make a video on it, which I'll link down below so that you can check out. It's actually got, I think, almost 5,000 views now. So a lot of you guys seem to like this as well. But I'm telling you, I've also got one coming out. Body Solid makes a version. It's better in some ways and not as good in some ways, but you'll see, I'll release that video soon. But anyway, this leg set is for sure a hell yeah in my gym. The next one is another one that I say stuff out loud every time I use it. When I walk up and I grab it and I put my hands on it, I stop and I go, oh, this thing's awesome. And I haven't posted a video on this yet, and I haven't really talked about this yet. But sitting right up here is the American Barbell Elite Power Bar. It is the most expensive barbell I've ever bought. It was a complete splurge. It was bought just for me. I don't even think you could buy them anymore. I think they might be discontinued. They happen to have a couple in the warehouse. I have been looking at this barbell for years. It's one of those things that's been on my wish list, and it has absolutely more than lived up to what I hoped it would be. If you guys aren't too familiar, American Barbell does their knurling different than any other bar company out there. Every bar company out there thinks that in order to make a bar have more grip, they just need to put sharper and more dangerous points. I mean, at some point, I'm sure you're gonna have the Rogue Ohio Power Bar Broken Glass Edition, where they spray it with hot glue and roll it through crushed glass. And it's like, this one's got the most grip ever, okay? Because apparently, like, sharper and more cutty, if that's a word, is how they make, and American Barbell doesn't do that. American Barbell goes, hey, the whole point is to have grip. This bar makes me feel like frickin' Spider-Man. This thing just sticks in my hands. It's awesome, and it's not aggressive. I love their Chewy Power Bar. I know you guys know that I like that one as well, and that's definitely more aggressive, and it's not appropriate for all lifts. This Elite Power Bar is awesome. The bar spins, the best bar spin of any bar up here on the wall. It's a joy to use this, guys. And I'm a big barbell dork. You guys know that. That's why I sit in front of this wall when I do this podcast. But man, talk about a hell yeah. The American Barbell Elite Power Bar, for me, 100% a hell yeah. 100% I'm happy I spent what I spent on this barbell. It was not, look, at this point, I could furnish my gym with all stuff almost that's sent to me to review. And I spent my own money on this because I wanted a hell yeah barbell in my gym. And I have a few of them, but whoo, this one's good. I can't wait to I'm working on the review of the unboxing right now. I literally just took a pause in editing that to come record this podcast. And yeah, it's awesome. You'll see it when I see the video. The next one is something that I liked a lot when I got it, but it has become a hell yeah over time, because at least once a week, if not more than once a week, and if you follow me on Instagram, you see me post these. Every time I come up with a new way to use this particular piece of gear, I post it on Instagram. I'm like, man, this is another thing that I can use. And that is something called the Flex Wedge by Exponent Edge. It's something you may not have heard of. A lot of people look at it and go, oh, that's just a fancy calf block or a squat wedge or something like that. It is a big, huge metal thing, super heavy. It's got 1,000-pound weight capacity with a diamond plate platform that goes to about 7 or 8 different angles inside of it. And I use this thing for so much. I don't think I've done a landmine workout without it in a very long time. I use it to brace my rear foot on split squats. I use it to elevate front and rear feet on split squats where I want to elevate one side. I just figured out the other day, I just got a cable system from Bells of Steel, whereas if I put this between the cable system and my bench, it's the perfect distance. It gives me a foot plate. It gives me a way to keep the bench from sliding forward. I mean, I keep thinking, the reason there's no video on it yet is the video that I want to make is the X number of things you can use this thing for. And I keep coming up with more things. So I'm like, well, put that on the list and I'll make the video. I can't stop coming up with things for this. So man, talk about a hell yes piece of gear. Boy, when you can get something in your gym that's not all that expensive, that you find yourself not only using on its own for a bunch of stuff, because I even use it for like body weight squats and things like that. Goblet squats it's great for. I could go on. The nice thing about this is that it not only works on its own, but it makes all kinds of other things in my gym better. So the Flex Wedge from Exponent Edge, definitely a hell yes product. I'm so happy I bought it. It's a great company. They make a lot of stuff like this. It has a lot of uses, so definitely go check them out. But yeah, the Flex Wedge, awesome. This next one isn't so much a specific piece of equipment as the finish. When I open my garage door and it's a sunny day and the sun comes in and it reflects off of this, I stop and I look at it because I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I am a giant dork for this stuff. I just sit and I look and I'm like, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And that is what I'm sitting on right now, which is my Clear Grind AB 5200. I also have their FB 5000 Rep Fitness flat bench in Clear Grind. Clear Grind is the color. Rep Fitness was the first one to start doing it. They basically take the steel, they grind it down, and then they clear coat it. And it is gorgeous. The only thing more gorgeous than this is there's a company called Mutant Metals who makes like colored clear grind. Just go check out Mutant Metals, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I am so happy because guys, as you guys know, I used to have this bench in black. And being the big dummy that I am who can't control his wallet, I bought the Clear Grind one specifically just to have this color because I wanted this and not black. I did not have to spend the $600 and I bought it. They didn't send it to me. I bought it because I wanted this color. But that's because, like I said at the beginning, it's a hell yes. I want to walk in my gym and say hell yes. And I didn't say hell yes to my black bench. It's a great bench. It's the best adjustable bench that you can buy for your garage gym. Only in this color is it the best though, right? So that's a hell yes for me. It's just how things look in your garage and just the experience of your garage gym itself. It doesn't have to necessarily be a specific piece of equipment. It can just be the finish. It can be, a custom rack header. It can be the color that you ordered your rack in. There's lots of different things that can make a hell yes that's not just a specific piece of equipment. And that brings me to my fourth one, which I use every single time I'm in my garage, whether I'm in here working out, whether I'm in here working on like a project, no matter what I'm doing, I use this. And you see me post a couple of videos on it, and there's always somebody who talks about how good their Bluetooth speaker is, and I've got some really good Bluetooth speakers, but they just don't compare to the stereo system that I installed in this garage that makes me say, oh hell yes, every time I turn it on. And I've got a receiver, I've got 2 floor standing speakers on the wall up above the door, I've got 2 more outdoor speakers in the back corners, I've got a 12-inch subwoofer. This is Club GymCrafter when I want it to be. My neighbors aren't necessarily super happy with it some days, but I don't care because again, hell yes is for who? That's right, it's for you. It's not for your neighbors. I don't care if you say hell yes. So whether it's Frank Sinatra, which I do listen to while I'm training. My brother thinks I'm weird for that, but I do listen to Frank and Jimmy and Dean and stuff like that. Jimmy Dean, that's not right. Frank, it's Sammy and Dean. Jimmy Dean, it must be dinner time. And I listen to Disturbed and I listen to Ren, really good hip hop artist, is my #1 artist this year on the Spotify wrap up. I listen to all kinds of music, really loud. And I tell you what, it makes my workouts better. It makes everything better in my gym. It is a 100% definitive hell yes in my gym, and I absolutely love it. And the only problem with those 5 hell yes items, and there's more, but I wanted to limit it to 5 this episode, is that it makes me look at some other stuff in my gym and go, that's not a hell yes yet, and I would like it to be. So I'm going to talk about the next 3 things, or at least 3 things on my list that are kind of meh. They're squashed like a grape, like Mr. Miyagi in the middle of the road, but I want them to be a hell yes. So the first one is my dumbbells, and I am not talking about buying the Rep-ins. Sorry, Rep. I've decided that I probably won't buy those. If I'm just going to buy another set of adjustables, I like my power blocks. They work great. I've had them for over 10 years. They're not a hell yes, but man, are they functional. They work they get the job done. I enjoy using them. They've lasted forever. I know there's a video, I think Fringe Sport or maybe maybe it was Rep, made a video where they dropped them and they broke, so which really surprised me because I've dropped these a million times. But anyway, I like them, right? But they're not a hell yes. Fringe Sport makes a set of dumbbells called the Silverbacks. And there's a few things that I really like about them. Number one, they've got green logos, so I'm a sucker for green. They've got monkeys on the side, and you guys know my experience with all the On It stuff that I have with monkeys on it. If you've watched the podcast long enough, you know what I'm talking about. But they've got monkeys on the side. Checkbox number 2, right? And checkbox number 3, as it's like 38 degrees in this garage right now as I'm recording this podcast, is that they're rubber. And not just rubber on the outside, but the rubber handles. Now, before you go, ooh, what's that? It's knurled rubber. It feels darn close to knurled metal. It's not, but it's close. And it wouldn't freeze my hands in the wintertime. The only reason I don't have these, and I literally wrote and emailed them today, is that at Home Gym Con where I saw them, I tried them at Home Gym Con, really loved them. They only go up to 50 pounds, and I cannot replace my 95-pound power block set with a set of dumbbells that goes to 50. I suppose I could have both at the same time, but I really want a set that goes to 100 or maybe 110. For my training purposes, 100 would be fine. Anything more than that, I'll just use a barbell, or the cable stack or something like that. But man, that would make my dumbbell situation go from I'm pretty happy to a hell yeah. Because again, big dork, would sit here and look at the green monkeys and go, hell yeah, I like these. So, and I like that, right? That's the whole reason. So that's one thing I want to upgrade is I want to get those. Another one is I am sitting where my rack should be. Now, one thing that is definitely not a hell yes is the over 2 months I've been waiting for this rack to show up. I am hoping that there is something special about mine, that there was some, because I did ask for a couple of things on this rack that weren't in stock. However, they make this stuff where they sell it. It's not imported, so they should be able to, but anyway. I hope this isn't the situation that customers are going to be in because I won't be able to recommend the rack if it takes 2 months to come in, but it is a color that matches the gym specifically. It's got some features on it that I want specifically, and I can't wait to get it. And I'll tell you that a rack, just like the Clear Grind, a rack that matches the gym, that's in the brand colors for GymCrafter, that has all of the things I've never had, the rack that I want. I had a Titan rack that I loved, but it didn't have some of the stuff that I wanted on it because I couldn't afford it at this point, because this company actually wants to work with me and send it to me at no charge. I am so excited. So this rack is going to be a hell yes, I think. I hope. Please pray for me. But I hope it's going to be a hell yes, and I hope that their customer service and their shipping times aren't the same for all of you so that they can be a hell yes for you. I will be the first one. Even if the rack is a hell yes, if the company's not a hell yes, I will make sure and tell you guys. But that's the other thing. And then the last thing that's not a hell yes, but it will be. And I talked about plans for 2025 at GymCrafter. I am also a photographer. So I'll put a link to my Instagram photography page down below. I've been kind of away from it for a while, but I'm an avid photographer. I used to teach photography, and Joe over at Gray Matter Lifting has really lit the fire under me, has really gotten the bug is back for photography. And so I have a really cool idea to combine that with some other things I've been thinking about for gym accessories. My walls are completely bare right now, and most of what I can see that you can add to your gym there's lots of banners, and there's cool banners. I'm not a banner guy, so not a knock on anybody who is. Banners aren't a hell yes for me. I know a lot of guys that banners are hell yeses for you, so that's what you should get. But for me, it's not. I really want something that looks a little bit more upscale than that. It looks a little bit more refined, and I really want to do something cool with my photography because, as you can tell, I think gym gear is beautiful. And I think that when it's photographed correctly and it's done with the right light and the right effects and the right post-processing, that there's some really cool stuff that's just not available right now for your gym, and especially not available for a reasonable price. So I've got a project cooking in the back of my mind that's gonna take my blah walls. I love the green, it's great, but I wanna walk in the gym and the whole gym as a whole and go, oh, hell yeah. So that's the plans. That's my 3 things that I plan to take from middle of the road to hell yeah. And hopefully I've said hell enough to warrant the language warning for YouTube on this podcast. But let me know, what do you guys think? What are the hell yeah things in your gym? You've got to have some. I know all of you guys have some things where you walk in and you're like, I can't wait to use this. This thing's awesome. So let me know what that thing is for you or what those things are for you. Let me know what's on your hell yeah list. What's on your list, not the dream list that you'll never actually get, but the thing you're actually gonna eventually buy one day, like this power bar back here that I got, that you know is gonna be yours one day, that you know it's gonna be a hell yeah. Let me know what those things are for you. I love talking to you guys down in the comments. Thank you so much for putting those down there. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching the podcast this far. If you liked the episode and you haven't hit the like button, please do that. If you watched this far and you didn't like it, thank you for sitting through my long, rambly explanations of things. I know that's probably the most feedback I get is I talk too much. I even get people now, they're putting timestamps that go, he stops rambling at this timestamp, which I actually kind of appreciate because I do ramble. I'm not gonna stop either, so keep putting those timestamps down there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. And until the next podcast, I am Tim from GymCrafter.